as was said of a certain German book, it does not permit itself to be read. Some secrets do not allow themselves to be revealed. I was sitting at the large bay window of a coffee shop in London. I had just recovered from a long illness, and my senses were keen and alive. I felt calm, yet inquisitive about everything. Outside was one of the city's main thoroughfares. As darkness fell and the gas lamps were lit, the crowd became a tumult. I observed the masses of passengers and considered them in aggregate. Soon, however, I descended to details. I began to read their faces. There were noblemen, merchants, and attorneys, men of leisure and men of business. Then there were clerks, gamblers, peddlers, and beggars. The city was a sea of human heads, rolling like waves. Suddenly, amidst this chaos, my eyes fell upon a face. It was the face of a decrepit old man, aged 65 or 70. I had never seen a countenance like it. It arrested and absorbed my entire focus. I tried to analyze its meaning. It wasn't just old age. It was a confused mix of extreme intelligence, caution, bloodthirstiness, and absolute, terrifying despair. I felt as if the history of 1,000 crimes was written on that brow. What a wild history is written within that bosom, I said to myself. I had to know who he was. I had to know what he was. I grabbed my hat and cane and rushed into the street to follow him. I spotted him easily. He was short and thin, and he wore filthy, ragged clothes. But under the light of a diamond shop, I saw that his linen had a beautiful texture. I even caught a glimpse of a dagger hidden in his coat. He walked with strange, feverish energy. He didn't seem to have a destination. He simply walked where the crowd was thickest. I followed him down a busy street. When the crowd thinned, he looked panicked. When the crowd grew dense again, he smiled a strange, satisfied smile. It began to rain, a heavy, cold, damp rain. The streets emptied. The old man ran almost frantically, until he found a covered market full of people. He pushed his way to the center, jostling and seeking the touch of human bodies. We walked for hours. He led me through the finest squares of the city, then down to the vilest slums. He entered a gin palace packed with drunkards. He didn't drink. He just stood there, breathing in the atmosphere of the crowd, his eyes wild and vacant. When the bar closed, he let out a shriek of pure frustration and ran back into the night. I followed him until dawn. My legs ached, my heart was pounding. But he showed no fatigue. He was a machine, fueled by the presence of others. He retraced his steps, back to the market, back to the hotel, back to the street. He never stopped. He never sat down. Most importantly, he never looked at anything. He only looked at the crowd, never into it. 3:40. Finally, as the second evening approached and I was exhausted, I realized the truth. I walked up to him. I stopped right in front of him and stared him in the face. He did not notice me. He looked right through me. To him, I was just another body in the crowd. He refuses to be alone. He cannot be alone. He is a genius of deep crime. He can't be alone with his conscience. I stopped pursuing him. It was useless. This old man, I said to myself, is a genius of deep crime. He can't stand to be alone. He is a man of the crowd. It would be in vain to follow him. I would learn nothing more about him or his deeds. The darkest heart in the world is grosser than the hortulus animae, and perhaps it is one of God's great mercies that it does not permit itself to be read.